interns and residents, whom the grand jury says made repeated mistakes. New state regulations will require more supervision of interns and residents. Dr. Erwin Sharkey has been running the residency program at the New York Infirmary Beekman Hospital for over 14 years. He says drastically cutting the hours of interns and residents will mean finding other doctors to cover the needs of the hospital. But State Health Commissioner Axelrod wants the new rules in effect in 180 days.
The 180 days is not enough time for us to implement changes in our program to give the kind of assurances that I know I can give for what we're doing now.
So you can't tell your patients that 180 days from now when you're implementing these programs that they're going to be better cared for?
I'm concerned about it.
Residents and interns at Beekman are scheduled in teams. Every 4 days, doctors in training must work a shift of 30 consecutive hours. Dr. Peter Polos, a 34-year-old first-year resident, worked a 33-hour shift today.
When we hear about a doctor being on for 30 or 36 hours, it's not as though he's the only person in the house to manage the patient. There's plenty of support. There are other interns and residents, there's nurses, there's senior residents, chief residents that are available, and attendings that are available to help with the patient care.
Doctors here say that the reforms being suggested by Dr. Axelrod are radical, and if not carefully implemented, could reduce the quality of medical care. Dr. Axelrod says that patients in New York hospitals will be far better cared for when these reforms become common practice. Bob O'Brien, Channel 5 News.
The state Senate gave final legislative approval today to a bill that would allow cameras in New York courtrooms. The measure would permit audio and video tape recording and still photography for an 18-month trial period beginning December 1st. The bill now goes to Governor Cuomo, who favors allowing cameras in courtrooms. If he signs it, New York will become the 30th state to allow picture taking in court. Well, if you're like John Roland and you've had trouble keeping up with the younger generation lately, it may be because they have a new way of getting around. New for them, that is. Steve Powers, who didn't fall off the potato truck yesterday, knows all about it and all about what it's replaced.
All right, here we go. As you remember, last summer I went to remarkable extremes to bring you the latest craze at that time, trick skateboarding.
Let's go surfing now, everybody's learning how. Come on, it's a fire with me.
All right, so you figured it out, a little bit of the magic of trick photography, and it looked like I could actually stand on one of those things. That was last year. This year, the hot item, scooters. No matter where you look, scooters. In fact, stores like Toys R Us are having trouble keeping them in stock.
It seems to be an outgrowth of skateboards and the interest in bikes and just outdoor play. They started about a year ago, and the bike manufacturers have started making them, and the kids love them.
How many scooters are you selling?
Right now, we're selling several thousand a week.
Now, you have to understand that kids don't merely ride these things, they pound them into the ground over and over. And of course, if they can jump over something rather than roll around it, it's off we go onto the wild blue yonder. But the question I put to our expert panel is simply, why are these so hot, you know, more than the skateboards or the bikes, the BMX?
They got handles. It's easy to drive.
Easy to drive?
You won't fall or anything.
And you can do tricks on them.
Because then my legs hurt when I pedal them, and my legs don't hurt when I push this.
Oh, it's more fun than a bike?
Yep.
Now, when I was a kid, if you wanted a scooter, what you did was go to the fruit store, and you got a couple of boxes like this. You put some roller skates in the bottom, and you were in business. In fact, in Back to the Future, Michael J. Fox pulled apart an orange crate scooter to make a new confounded skateboard.
Wow, look at him go!
Well, they say that everything that goes around comes around. So who knows, maybe next year, instead of doing a story about scooters, I'll be doing a story about the latest rage, hula hoops. Steve Powers, Channel 5 News.
You remember those.
Of course.
Have a lot more news coming up for you. A triple murder in a fancy apartment building just across the Hudson from New York. The police department's new firepower is hammering home a safety message. The Yankees are trying to get their big bats booming against the Angels. And Stu reviews a new movie about a preacher who gets blackmailed over his wild sex life. It's called Salvation. It was made before the headlines. We'll be right back.
Hey, Jerome, you think you'd be into a little pajama party, maybe?
Here, Doris. Got a meeting in Davenport. Be back tomorrow.
Once upon a time, a businessman figured out a brand new way to travel.
Afternoon. Car's broke down a couple miles back. Gonna miss a big meeting in Davenport.
That's so.
Say, could you, fly me there and back?
Let me get this straight. You want me to fly you there, sit there and wait for you while you have this meeting, then fly you back?
Since then, the Friendly Skies has flown a whole lot of business people. We've found it pays to listen to them.
Thanks for flying me. Next time, maybe you could have some coffee on board?
You're not just flying. Let me get this straight. You want coffee on the plane while we're in the air?
Friendly Skies.
Think of all the things you could be doing if only you had more energy. This kind of energy comes from food by eating a well-balanced diet with vitamin B complex and biotin, the energy releasers. To be sure you're getting enough energy releasers, take Theragram M high-potency multivitamins with minerals, rich in B complex and biotin. They're essential for converting food into the energy you need. So eat right and take Theragram M from Squibb with energy releasers. Unleash your energy.
Something special is arriving. A remarkable car, available at a remarkable price. Because your local dealer has special factory incentives to make exceptional deals. The car is the German-engineered Audi 4000, and it's priced to bring first-class travel down to earth. Now get great deals plus free scheduled maintenance on your new Audi 4000 for 3 years or 40,000 miles.
Police in Guttenberg, New Jersey have a triple murder on their hands. They were murdered in one of the apartments in a luxury condo. Rosanna Scotto reports.
The Galaxy condominiums in Jersey are beautiful and expensive. But this quiet community, which overlooks Manhattan, was rocked when 3 people, 2 men and a woman, were found dead, stabbed and shot numerous times. The victims were discovered in apartment 5E. Security here at the complex became aware of the situation Sunday night when a neighbor noticed a hole in her wall. She originally thought the people next door drilled a little too far, but upon further investigation, the security discovered it was a bullet hole, which led them to the grisly scene in the next apartment. They then notified police.
We have no positive identifications at this time on any of the 3. And what I can tell you is that we are certain that neither of the 2 males is the occupant of the apartment.
Paul DePascal, the Hudson County prosecutor, is investigating the deaths. He says Carlos Sainz, a Colombian who was subletting the $1,200 a month 1-bedroom apartment, is missing. Are you looking for him?
We would like to speak to him, yes.
The prosecutor refused to say whether Sainz is a suspect or whether they were close to arresting anyone. He was afraid this information would jeopardize the case. Meanwhile, people living at the Galaxy knew very little about what happened, but were not too concerned. Is this a safe building?
Yes, it is very safe. These people obviously knew these people who killed them. I mean, it's not, people don't go around to the Galaxy and say, let's shoot up some people in the apartments.
There is speculation that drugs may be the reason behind this triple homicide. A small amount of cocaine was reportedly found inside the apartment. But the Hudson County prosecutor would not confirm any of this while the investigation continues. From New Jersey, Rosanna Scotto, Channel 5 News.
The New York Police Department is adopting a new kind of gun in an effort to cut down on accidental shootings. It's a special kind of police special. And with it, quick-draw McGraw tactics will be impossible, not just forbidden. Dave Browdy reports.
The new weapons to be issued to police officers graduating in the next class will fire the same ammunition and have the same number of rounds. What they won't have is a hammer you can cock, the way the cops on television shows do it, because all too often those cocked guns go off at times the officers wish they hadn't.
In no way can a police officer cock this revolver in training or any other way. When I pull this back, it will not stay back. Okay, it can't be cocked.
Is there any reason you'd ever want to cock it these days? Why would you want to cock a weapon?
I can't think of a real valid reason of why you would want to cock it.
Instructors at the police firearms training section say cocking a revolver is a cowboy police technique that gets officers into trouble. The Patrolmen's Union agrees and says these new uncockable weapons may save officers' lives.
Particularly in a tense situation where you have a tendency to reach for the gun, and with the hammer spur, you sometimes cock it unnecessarily. And we've had a number of accidental discharges, and that should be prevented with this new innovation.
Starting with the next class of 1,100 officers to enter the police academy next month, the uncockable revolver will be the only authorized weapon for on or off-duty use. The PBA is sufficiently enthusiastic about these new hammerless guns that they're going to recommend that patrolmen already on the force trade in their old weapons for new ones. I'm Dave Browdy, Channel 5 News, at the police range in Rodman's Neck.
Terrible accident tonight on the Interborough Parkway in Brooklyn. 2 people dead, 3 hurt. It happened near Bushwick Avenue. A car going west jumped the divider, smashed into another one going east. None of the people have been identified yet. All 3 of the injured are in the hospital in very serious condition. Coming up next, Elton John's Shanghai Surprise.
And Stu is here with a review of a new movie called Salvation. It's about sex and religion.
Humanism is perverted. When you need financing for a new car, Anchor Savings Bank has the great rates and the speedy service to get you going. Today, with Anchor's hard-to-beat car loan rates, you will be able to afford the car you really want.
Plus, you'll get a fast answer on your application within 48 hours.
Yes, that's Anchor Action working for you, so give us a call.
Remember, you're Anchor Banker. She understands.
That's right, you're Anchor Banker. He understands.
Nothing feels better than A&P's unadvertised specials, especially on top of our already low prices. You'll discover hundreds of them. We built a feeling. Every week, in every aisle, in every A&P. This week's unadvertised specials? Sure, we could show you. A proud new feeling. But then they wouldn't be unadvertised. We built a proud new feeling at A&P.
It's just a ferry boat home, but Moet makes it Paris. It's just a view you've seen 1,000 times, but Moet makes it Paris. Life can be more than every day. Life can be anything you say.
France's best-loved champagne.
Moet makes it Paris.
Team Pontiac presents Winners.
When they called my name, I couldn't believe it because I'd worked for this all my life.
There she is, Miss America. Winners, the Le Mans launch is on. Introducing what we think is the perfect car. Designed and engineered in Germany for performance, Le Mans. Built in Korea for affordability, Le Mans Pontiac Heat starting at $59.95. A winner. Talk about an understatement. The 88 Le Mans launch is on.
Elton John is touring China, and there are big crowds wherever he goes, but no one is coming to see him. In fact, most of the Chinese never even heard of him. It's who he's traveling with, the Watford soccer team from England. Elton owns the team. The Chinese won't get a chance to hear Elton singing. He's taking a year off to rest his voice after an operation.
All right, Elton. A new movie was written 2 years ago, but it reflects the headlines of today. The picture is called Salvation, and here to review it is Channel 5's Jim Baker, Stuart Klein.
Thanks, I think. The subject of this satiric comedy is a TV evangelist. He is the Reverend Randall, primetime preacher.
Did you know that New York City is the least Christian city in the United States?
When the Reverend Randall is not preaching the Word of God, he enjoys sadistic sex.
You want me to beat you out? Is that it? Is that your game? Is that it?
Ouch!
Well, Shades of Jim and Tammy. The preacher is shaken down by some hustlers. He is forced to put one of their wives on his show as co-host, and soon she is demanding a cut of the profits.
I designed those T-shirts, and I feel that something a little more than a 50-50 split is in order. Don't you agree?
Now, Ronald, let's be reasonable here. Now, we all realize that you have been a true gift from God. But we're talking about money here. Money made for the Lord's work.
Now, this haphazard, low-budget production has a couple of laughs, including this escape by the preacher from the heavies. But the film is crude and sloppy, and underground writer-director Beth B. jumps from one bit to another without building any rich humor. And the only solid performance is by Stephen McHattie, who is terrific.
We could reach them in New York City, and this is just the beginning. Glory to God. Glory to God. You hear what I'm telling you? Let's bring Jesus back here.
The picture ends with a screaming music video, which may have some significance, but I haven't a clue what that might be.
Waging a war when the light shining down from heaven. Cleanse your soul in the warriors of Jesus.
You got me. Salvation couldn't be more timely, yet, ironically, its timing is bad. For nothing in the film is as funny as the actual deeds of Jim and Tammy and Jemmy and Jerry and Oral. The best satire of TV ministries is being written these days by journalists. They simply report the truth about TV preachers, and that, of course, is hilarious. John?
All right. Glenn will be along next with the truth about the weather, the mess we have to go through before a nice weekend.
And then the Amazing has the Yanks and Mets action and Chris Everett's tennis triumph.
Once you look through a Minolta Maxim, you'll never see life the same way again. Maxim, the world's first SLR with built-in autofocus. 26 autofocus lenses capture the action as only you see it. Minolta Maxim, let your creativity come to life. The Maxim system, oh, the things you'll do.
Only you and the mind of Minolta.
Friends, I'm here to help. But masked men, we always use regular. There comes a time when even regular folks must turn to silver.
But why silver?
I don't know, ma'am, but I don't have to. My car knows.
For better performance than regular unleaded, try pure Amoco Silver.
And we didn't even get to thank him.
Neither did our car. Oh, silver! Away!
It's out there, waiting for you. Stronger, sleeker, smarter than any of its kind has ever been. The new breed, Jaguar XJ6. The evolution of the species. For the name of your local dealer, call toll-free.
Have breakfast on A&P and Aunt Jemima. Buy her syrup and get her pancake mix free. It's the Captain Crunch All Variety Show. $1.59, 15 or 16-ounce box. Bite into Quaker Chewy granola bars, $1.49, 8-ounce package, all varieties. The celebration continues at the New Rochelle Future Store and the Save Us Center in Andover.
We built a proud new feeling at A&P.
All right, the rain was kind of nice. What else you got coming up for us?
How about
kind of broke things up a little bit?
Yeah,
It was
how
nice.
about getting rid of some of the humidity?
I'll take it.
Yeah, all right. The heat wave is definitely over, and we're going to get rid of some of that humidity, too, and the weekend actually looks pretty good. When you wake up in the morning, you're not going to believe it. It's going to be a lot cooler than it was this morning. Temperature 60 degrees in Midtown, 55 in East Suffolk. You might want to leave a little extra time because there's going to be some dense fog around, especially on Long Island. The visibility is down near zero in the Hamptons right now, and you can see the cooler air coming in on northeasterly winds, 60 in Bridgeport, 59 in the Hamptons, northeasterly winds here. The other end of the scale, 75 in Trenton, but that cool air will be making it all the way through. 1 1/3 inches of rain in Mineola in a heavy thunderstorm this morning. The heavy stuff is gone. Right now in Central Park, we've got fog, and it's still humid, but the temperature is down. 67 degrees, 90% humidity, winds east at 6, the barometer 30.08 and rising. Today's high only 78 because of all the clouds and the rain, most of which fell this morning. The low 67, which is the current reading, and 0.10 of an inch in Central Park. Here's the front that I was telling you about last night, what we call the backdoor front, because it came in from the northeast. This area of high pressure here, bringing the easterly winds, the fog, keeping things cool, and actually lowering the humidity. The next front will come through and lower the humidity even further, but that won't come until late Thursday night or Friday. Lots of showers and thunderstorms back with this front. This front will be hanging around tomorrow, and so we could get a shower, but the real heavy stuff shouldn't come until Thursday. But this front and this high pressure area will keep us in the comfortable zone until that next front comes through. Tonight, lots of fog around and definitely cooler. Temperatures down to 55 to 60 degree range. Tomorrow, fog in the morning, maybe a little drizzle, a lot of clouds during the day, and look at the high temperature, only 62 in the city, 60s in eastern Suffolk. And Thursday, thunderstorms coming in, keeping the temperature down a little bit. The front comes through, and the temperatures may actually go up just because of the increased sunshine. Tomorrow, temperature definitely below 80 degrees, so the heat wave is definitely over across the country. The cooler weather will be coming in over the weekend with sunshine just in time for the weekend, Jim.
And thank you. John?
All righty. Thanks, guys. Amazing. I've got a question for you tonight from Sarah Fahey. She lives in the Bronx. And,
must be tough. Foreign language.
She calls you the answer man. Wasn't there something I called the answer man?
Yeah, there used to be an answer man years ago.
Okay, well, anyway, you're her answer man tonight. Who was the oldest player to appear in an all-star game?
Wait, what sport? What sport? My lawyer.
Well, we're talking baseball here.
Are you sure? Because the oldest man ever to appear in an all-star game was in a football game, and his name was Pudge Heffelfinger. He was 65.
There's nobody named Pudge Heffelfinger. Come on, you made that up.
3-time All-American for Yale. Is she talking about... I'll tell you what. I'll stake my... You don't believe...
Just tell me who the oldest was in a baseball game.
Well, I would say Satchel Paige.
I would, too. 47 years old back in
Pudge Heffelfinger. 60... How old was he? Wait a second. Everybody from New Haven.
Amazing
all you people from New Haven, write to him.
Heffelfinger.
Pudge Heffelfinger.
So-and-so his name.
Sunday on Duet. You too busy for a kiss? It's business before pleasure.
Sorry to see that Laura's treating you like yesterday's guacamole.
On Fox Channel 5, New York.
Wednesday's the one-day sale store-wide, starting 9 a.m. at A&S. Traditional suits, regularly $199 to $225, just $99. Cool, comfortable poppers, pincords, solid, 7,000 traditional suits, $99. Wednesday only at A&S. $12.99 buys any short-sleeve dress shirt, solid, patterns, button-down, music, designer, full cut, fitted. Every short-sleeve dress shirt, $12.99. Wednesday's the one-day sale store-wide at A&S. It's a terrific one.
From Sunoco comes the highest octane under the sun. Sunoco Ultra. At 93.5, it's the highest octane of all major premiums. No other gasoline can match it. And now for the best deal under the sun. Until June 20th, get a 2-liter bottle of Pepsi for just 59 cents with an Ultra fill-up. Offer differs in New Jersey.
I want more money.
More money? Here's a way to do it. Think first, then invest.
It's elementary. First Investors Fund for Income hasn't missed paying a monthly dividend since 1973. A smart move.
It seeks a high yield.
All's well that earns well.
So what do you think?
I want more money.
Think first, then invest. Think high yield. First Investors Fund for Income.
Tonight's sports report is brought to you by your New York, New Jersey Subaru dealers.
Think Subaru for 1987. Get a Subaru bottom line deal, our lowest bottom line price. Think Subaru quality, reliability, on-demand 4-wheel drive, and turbo traction. Think Subaru sedan, wagon, XT coupe, 3-door hatchback, and the new and exciting Subaru Justy, priced at just $54.95. That's $54.95. And smile with Subaru service because Subaru ranks #1 ahead of all Japanese imports for dealer service. Think Subaru value and get a bottom line deal today at your New York, New Jersey Subaru dealer.
All right, with apologies to anybody named Heffelfinger. the amazing.
William Pudge Heffelfinger
Well, that's
from
why we
Minnesota.
sort
I'll
of
give you
laughed
my
and,
word.
you know,
Three-time
was
All-American
his
Walter
name.
Camp. The faltering Yankees sent Rick Rhoden out against California tonight. And in the first inning, Willie Randolph supplied him with a 1-0 lead, which stood up until the 5th inning. And then Rhoden threw a home run ball to Dick Schofield. Now, you won't believe it when I tell you his father's name was Ducky. This is Ducky Schofield's kid, Dick. Tied the game at 1 after Randolph put him ahead 2-1. Devon White hit a homer to tie the game at 2. Then in the 8th inning, Pags rips one into the top stands. 10 rows up, not as far as Mickey hit it once. And then finally, Righetti came in, closed the ball game out. Nice play by Righetti. Throws to first. Rhoden didn't get the win. Pitched beautifully. The win goes to Righetti. Pags Pagliarulo was the star. 3-2, along with Willie Randolph, who had 2 RBIs. What am I? It's a new style. 3-2, the final score in favor of the Yankees. On the scoreboard, Toronto 4-3 over Seattle. Baltimore beat Oakland 9-2. Minnesota leads Boston 5-4 in the 8th. Detroit, Cleveland rained out. Milwaukee 9-1 over Kansas City in the 7th. Chicago leads Texas 12-2 in the 6th. The Mets are trying for another surprise win against the Dodgers. They have a young pitcher named Tom Edens. May he be from Edenland. There's no score after 1 inning of play on the board. Cincinnati beat St. Louis 3-2, so the Mets can pick up ground. Chicago 13-2 over Houston. Montreal 6-2 over San Diego. And Pittsburgh beat Atlanta 4-1. In the baseball draft today, a familiar name. This young man is Ken Griffey Jr. He got $150,000 from Seattle. He is a high school senior out of the football fame Moeller High. His father, Ken Griffey, of course, you know about. He was chosen number 1. Picked number 3 by Minnesota, a youngster from Jersey City, a phenom named Willie Banks, who has higher credentials than Gooden had when he went in the draft. At the French Open today, Chrissy Everett beat Raffaella Reggi 6-2, 6-2 to advance to the semifinals. She next plays Martina. That's Chrissy, whom you see. Martina today advanced by beating Claudia Kodakilch, who's in the foreground, 6-1, 6-2. In men's play, Ivan Lendl moved into the semifinals as he beat Andres Gomez 5-7, 6-4, 6-1, 6-1. Watch Lendl with a great passing shot right here. He was too good for Gomez. The Lakers and the Celtics tonight. The score now is 101-88 in the 4th quarter of play. Everybody's so excited. Heinsohn, who was an excitable young basketball player when I first saw him at Holy Cross, and he made a hook shot as the game ended. Too late against Temple. He was excitable then. He's excitable tonight. He should know by now. 2 years ago, the Lakers blew the Celtics out by 33. The Celtics blew them out by 30. These blowouts mean nothing. The only thing that counts is who wins the final game. I will say this for Los Angeles. They're the best defensive Los Angeles team I've ever seen. What is it now, 101-88? 103-88. Weatherman's a hell of a basketball fan. At Roosevelt, the double tonight, DNC, thanks, Glenn, paid $338.20. And the third race triple, EG&B, paid $58.20.
All right, Maze. Just had a call from a very nice lady in New Haven. She watches the 10 o'clock news every night. She says, the amazing, you were absolutely right. It was Heffelfinger. He went to Yale. Okay. All right, keep calling.
See,
Tell me how wrong I always am. That's all right.
I told you, everybody in New Haven.
The graduating class of Kingwood High School in Houston had to make do without its valedictorian at today's ceremonies. 18-year-old Mike Woosley wasn't even allowed to attend. The reason is the special event that he arranged for his physics class last week. School officials didn't approve of the kind of physics Woosley had in mind, and the stripper he hired didn't even get to finish the act. No sense of humor at Kingwood High.
None whatsoever. Don't understand that.
That's our report for tonight. I'm John Roland.
And I'm Jim Ryan.
Thanks for being with us. We'll see you again tomorrow night. Good night.
You're crazy.
We would like to reassure all parents who are expecting a child. Relax. Your child's delivery is in the right hands. TWA's new child care program. Even before you get on the plane, our in-flight service manager is working to make you comfortable.
There'll be a child traveling alone in row 18, and we'll need a vegetarian meal in row 10. And Tony, make sure we have enough...
Today's TWA. Find out how good we really are.
I got a cut C, but Mom belongs to Metagroup, so I could go to the doctor whenever I need to, like when I fell right here. Mom said Metagroup is an HMO from Blue Cross and Blue Shield in New Jersey. And with Metagroup, Mom says everything is covered, even x-rays on my knee. Mom got Metagroup at her job for the whole family, but I think it's mostly for me. Metagroup, the HMO from the name you know.
Before you buy your next PC, see how much you'll save with AT&T. For a limited time, every AT&T PC you buy saves you money on your next PC. The more AT&T PCs you add, the less you'll pay for each one. Don't wait. Come see how little it costs to put AT&T quality on everybody's desk. Call now, 1-800-247-1212.
Bordeaux is the most elegant wine in the world, even if you're not dressing for dinner.
Bordeaux White, the color of good taste.
This is Bill Mazer. The excitement surrounding the Belmont Stakes has never been greater as Ali Sheba attempts to become the 12th horse in history to win the Triple Crown. However, it's still a horse race. Anything can happen. Join me tomorrow at 8:30 for all the facts behind this year's Belmont Stakes.